What is my latest forecast for ICP or the Internet Computer Token? Because there has been some changes to the charts, and I'll point them out to you guys right now. So this is the weekly time frame. Okay, on a higher level here, on a higher overview here, there has not been any change on this huge pattern I've been talking about. Okay, which is a falling wedge pattern. And if you guys know your falling wedge patterns, you guys know that it is a bullish pattern. I'm just telling you guys what's on the chart, okay? Now, falling wedges have a higher chance of breaking to the upside. And if you guys can see that, ICP is much closer to the bottom trend line of this falling wedge pattern. Now, the price target, if ICP breaks out by this point, for example, price target would be about above 20, almost $23, okay, ICP. Now, that is still a pretty good multiple for ICP, and could it get there? Well, price targets are estimates only. Okay, there could be more, there could be less. A lot of it does depend on what happens with Bitcoin. If Bitcoin has more room to pump, that's going to be very good for a lot of these altcoins. However, if Bitcoin starts dumping, especially extensively, these altcoin setups, they're not going to matter very much. Okay, so you still have to be paying attention to Bitcoin, and Bitcoin right now is looking very bullish. Okay, if you guys, I have made a more detailed video on Bitcoin earlier today. I will link you guys at the end of this video. I never trade altcoins without a clear understanding of Bitcoin. Now, um, for ICP here, okay, ICP here, the bigger falling wedge scenario has not changed. However, on the smaller time, on a lower, I mean, from within the pattern here, there has been some changes. I talked about a falling wedge pattern, a smaller falling wedge pattern here, that has been invalidated last time. You guys can check my previous video. That has been invalidated because the price action basically broke down from that falling wedge pattern. And what do I do when a pattern gets invalidated? I rechart the pattern with the new data. And what I'm seeing here on this weekly time frame still is a smaller falling wedge pattern within the bigger one. And also something else to be noting is that there is bullish divergence on this weekly time frame. If you guys compare the lower lows, the most recent low with the previous lows, you guys would see equal or higher lows on the RSI. That's classic bullish divergence. So I also talked about Total 3, which is basically total altcoin market cap excluding Ethereum, right? And why that is looking bullish as well. So a lot of these connect to I would say ICP looking very bullish as well. According to the charts, according to what's going on in the markets, right, including a Fed rate cut cycle that has just begun in September. I am long on Bitcoin. I am long on quite a bit of the altcoins here, so my opinions on this market is bullish. But like the entirety of this video, these are just my opinions and not financial advice. You gotta form your own conviction and strategies. Okay. Now, also want to talk about, even though falling wedges have a higher chance of breaking to the upside, they can still break down. They still have a smaller chance of breaking down as well. Nothing in this market is 100%. It's all by probabilities, okay? Like most of life, right? So this is basically what I'm seeing for ICP. Let's see if some of these bullish divergence play out. Let's see if the smaller falling wedge pattern plays out. There's quite a bit of resistance, including your weekly moving averages that's going to be acting as resistance, right? Now, the smaller falling wedge pattern here, the price target, if it breaks out by this point, would be about $8.60. So that would basically take ICP out of this bigger falling wedge pattern. Let's see if that is possible. I know that there's a lot of doubts on ICP, on a lot of these altcoins, really, because they have not been doing too much. But I think the patience is key here. But that is just me, not financial advice. So this is basically it for today. Let me know if you guys want to continue seeing any more of ICP or any other coins in this market by dropping a like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you on the next one.